part. So we are discussing about the client administration. As part of the client administration, so we have discussed about the client creation. Client creation. So client creation, we have to do it using the SEC4 transaction code. So why we have to create the client to run the business, to store the business data, or to run the business, we need a client. Client has to be created. But the client creation is required to logical system field. We have to fill it out. So for that one, so we need to create the logical system. The logical system creation, we have to do it with the, so either the sale or so the BD 54 transaction code, we can use it to create the logical system. There is a naming convention for the logical system. That naming convention we need to assign to the client. Sir, already we have the two clients, 000001. Can't we use those clients? Means no. So why? Because that client creation, so that those are the default client. It contains the default data. So we cannot, means customer cannot use those two clients business purpose, right? Those are the, it should be there. But even though we need to create a one customized client, one new client, we have to create it and copy the data from master client to, I mean, any one of those client to the, so the target client, like newly created client, we can copy the data, right? That thing we need to do that one. So then kind copy the copying the data that we discussed to the newly created client. Then we discussed about the profiles and parameters as well. So why? Because in the profiles and parameters, to there is a parameters we have to enable it so that we can log into the newly created client. It's not like that if you create the client immediately we cannot log in. Why? Because only client you created, there is no data as such. There is no data in that case. So new client we have to create it here. Sorry, parameter we have to change it. So after that, you can log in. In that case, we discussed about the profiles and parameter. If any system configuration we need to change it, then we need to use the RG10, RG11 static and dynamic parameter. The static and the dynamic parameter, we have to use it to change it, and we need to do the restart. We need to do the restart of the, so app servers and everything here. So and also we discussed about the, then client copies we started. Client copies we started. In the client copies, we discussed about the, there are the three types of client copies here. The local, the remote client copy, then client export. So client export and client import method. So local client copy. Local client copy means SCCL is the transaction code we can use to perform the local client copy. Locally, we can transfer the data using the local client copy here, which means within the system between two clients, either any client to any client, we can use the local client copy methods. We can use it, right? Just only transferring the data. But which data you will transfer? So data is separated based upon the profiles, client copy. Some customers, they don't want to copy the all the data, only users, only customization, only variants, only all the data. So that is a client copy profiles. So based upon the profiles, we can copy the data here, right? Then remote client copy. Remote client copy means this is the within the system between two clients. So, but remote client copy is like a, so between two systems and between two clients, two cities, two places, right? That is called the remote client copy. But there is a dependency task like remote connection, remote RFC destination. We need to create it here. For that one, using the SM59 transaction code, we have created the RFC connection to the target system. We have to create it here, right? There are the multiple RFC connections are there. So above to above, R3 connection, then above connections, external connections, TCP/IP connections. There are the number of connection types are there. We used it once the connectivity established and you and me, either your mobile to my mobile, then only I can use the RCC9 remote client copy to transfer the data, right? Then the next one more method is export and import method. What is this export and import method here? What is this export and import methods here, right? So export import method is like it's same kind of a remote client copy. Export import method is same kind of a remote client copy. So we can do the export using the SCC8 for the export. Then SC7 is the transaction code for the import, right? The another one is like a export and import method. So which means we can export to the local file system, then we can import to the target file systems using the SCC, so 8 and 7. Sir, why? So both are same, remote client copy, export import methods both are same, but the thing is here, the what is the difference between the both? Like here, suppose like if you see here, so this is the both are transferring the data to the target system only, right? This is the source, this is the target system, another client. So you can use the remote client copy, so to direct transfer to the target system using the SCC9 transaction code here, right? Using the SCC9 transaction code, so we can use the this transaction code to transfer the data from one system to another system. Okay, that is done. So, but that is the remote client copy. Means Hyderabad to Bangalore. Hyderabad to Bangalore, you can transfer the data here. Hyderabad to Bangalore, you can transfer the data here. One from one client to another client. That is called the remote client copy, right? So then remote client copy that we can transfer it here, right? So then after that we can so then one more thing is the export. Export also like a exporting to the your local file systems. Exporting to the your local file system here. USR, SAP, trans. Here USR, SAP, trans. You can export to the local file systems here, right? So then in that case, so there is a transport administration. That time you will come to know more details about the this trans directory and transport management, right? So now, so what we are going to do now, export import method means from source system to you need to export to the here the local file system, the shared file system. From here to you can import to the target system here. Here too, you can import to the target system here, right? This is called the export option here, SCCH, right? This is called the SCCH export, and this is called the SC7 import option here, right? SCC8 is the export, and SCC7 is the import option here, right? Export and import. Sir, both are the both intention is either remote client copy and export import method. The both the intention is to transfer that place the data to the target client. But this is the direct transfer, right? But this is a two-way mechanisms, right? First, you need to do the export, then wait till data is exported to the local file system. Then you need to do the import. Suppose if I give the, in the layman language, if I give the one example, Hyderabad to Bangalore, you need to transfer the data. One courier you need to parcel or one object you need to parcel. In that case, you are the only person, you will travel from via this route, via NH, National Highway Transfer, Bangalore Road. Then you can transfer the data and you are only person handovering to the target Bangalore region, right? You are only one person. You only pick it up, you only transferring the data here. But in that case, export import method means you are only person, you are going maybe Hyderabad to Bangalore. In between there is a, so maybe Kadapa or Karnool or Jadcherla, there is a halfway. You will do the export to the here. Then from here, one more person will pick up and he will transfer the data to the target system here. Sir, what is the advantage of both, or any what we can use it here? Anything you can use it. Sir, but what is the recommended approach? If the data size is more than TB, then you can use the export and import method is the best approach. But here data size is more, suppose if less than 1 TB, then we can use the SCC9 approach. We can use it here. Why? Because direct transferring. Suppose sometimes what happens, from my mobile to your mobile, there is a 10 GB data I'm transferring to you. Sometimes what happens, there is some network bandwidth, some network glitch, network connection issues happen until data transfer will gone. Then again you need to do so again you need to initialize it, and then again you need to transfer it. Again it will start. Sometimes it will start from the scratch. Again it will take longer time. Direct transfer will impact the your source and production systems and source and target systems. There is a load on the source and target systems here. But this is a direct transfer, the fastest approach this method. But here you need to do the export here, then there is no impact on the target system here. Once everything is exported to the local file system, then we can import to the target system here. But here there is a time taking procedure. You need to export, then you have to wait, then you need to import it. Suppose while importing there is a issue, again you can pull from the file system, you can import it. Why? Because there is no source system already exported, so there is no impact on the source system. While exporting, there is no impact on the import on the target system. While importing, there is no impact on the source system here, right? Both are run parallel. So that is the export and import methods, right? The only thing is depends upon your network bandwidth, depends upon your network bandwidth here. So depends upon the network bandwidth here. So we can transfer the data here. Depends upon the network bandwidth here. We can transfer the data. That is the main thing is like depends upon the network bandwidth, and also the impact on the your source and target systems. You can decide whether you can go for the remote client copy, or you can go for the export and import methods options. Export and import method options, you can do that one, right? But both the intention is transferring the data to the target only, right? So target means, so just you can, oh, it's very simple actually. You can go to the system. So now what you can do, you can go to the system. So just go to the SCC8, then you can export it. What's there in that one, right? You can go to the system, then you can go to SCC8, then so select the system here. Already is already a source client of, okay. Then you can select the target client here. So target client means, as special said, actually there is a TMS configuration that should be created actually. TMS configuration should be created for this one. But I selected as a dummy NW1 I selected. Then you can do the export, right? So we are doing the export here. While exporting here, there are some files will be created here. These are the transport files here. There are three files will be created here. SID, KO, KT, KX, which means KO means cross client. KT means client specific data. KX means client specific text. Okay, these three files will be created. These three files will be merged, and OS level you will see a one folder called the in the trans directory. Normally, we go to the KP online one here. So here there is a voice level trans directory here. Here there is a file will be created here. You see today there is a with the file name. So KT0013 transport request number, that is the created here. So it will be created. Data means file system level the data is getting transported. File system level the data is getting transported here. See, the data is getting transported at the file system level here, right? All the data which is reset coming to the here. So we can observe the logs if we go to the SEC3. So we can observe the client copy logs whether it is completed or not. Go to the exports here. So you can see it here. So something got cancelled. It got cancelled. So why it got cancelled? This is the which one? Okay. So export data here, we can check in the SM21 logs. So SM21 logs, we can see why it got failed or cancelled status here. So normally it will be exported status only here. Basis is reorganizing the transport tables here. Time zone. There is someone is doing, I think, already. So that is the reason. System also very slow. Let me check NW1 system. So if you go to the SM50, then we will come to know what's happening in the system, right? So here 6261. So I think this is free. So sometimes if you do the wrong client copy, so it will be cancelled. It will be cancelled status here. Sometimes it's already there. It will be cancelled. Let me check in the exports whether already exported. Okay, 21. It is already exported. All the clients. Okay, this is exported. So simple. Just to go to the SCC8, right? So then we can do the, we can select the system here, select our, what is the target system, you can select it here. Okay, so you can select it, just click on the OK button, then we can schedule as a background job. So that will be created here, that will be created here. See, that is created here. So there is a 1919 file is created here. So here the file is 131919 will be created here. This is called the transport file actually. Transport file will be created here 19. So this is the way we can transfer the data here. Just if you go to the SCC3 transaction code, there we can transport, there we can see the data, there we can see the processing data here. Now you can see this processing, which means, so this is getting the exported here, which is getting the exports here, right? So once completely exported here, then we can do the import option here. But only thing is the time taking procedure here. So time taking procedure, only once export, then only we have to do the import option here. Import option, we have to perform it in the systems here. That is the one thing here. So same, once it is done, then, so let me see. So once it is completely exported, then just to go to the SCC7, then it will, so 13 transport request number, previous number, today only we exported, right? Just click on the import option that we can do the imports. This is the request. So it will import. So what it is doing, OS level, it is getting exported. OS level, this is getting exported to here. Then after that, we are importing the data here, right? So this file system will come in the transport time. That time you can understand more about the transports. Okay. So for now, just only concentrate on the export and import. It will export to the OS level file system that is called the USR SAP trans. And under the trans directory, it will be exported here. Then we can do the import options here, there, right? Export and import options, we can perform it. Processing. Processing, we can see it here. That is the, so one thing we can see in the systems here, export and import options here. The both the ways started. So once export is done, then we can go to the ECD, we can import it, or there you can export it and we can import it here. So both the intention is transferring the data to target only here. So, but sir, why then again two means, that is depends upon the your approach. Sir, I don't want to direct transfer it here. There is a directly it will transfer to the my production to quality, then there is the impact and the source and target. Then I want to do the export, then slowly I will split the part into the two types like export import option. So in this way you don't have any import and then the other systems here, right? So then we can use the this option, or you can use the this option here. So here, that is the client copies here, three types of client copies here. So all the client copies will starts with the SCC star only here. All the client copies it will start. So SCC only here. So then here SCC only it will start it here. The only one thing is you need to remember is logs and all we can check in on the SCC3 client copy. So logs we can check it out in the SCC3 transaction code here. The one more thing is here we can check it out. Suppose sometimes what happens, the customer asks you to like speed up the process. In case of if we asked you to speed up the process, then parallel processing option is there. Parallel processing means multiple process. Now what it is doing when you are processing only one dialogue or one background work process job will run, that will complete it here. But I don't want to do like this here. I want to take a, so there is a multiple things are running in the system. See, already people are doing. So that is the reason it's taking a longer time, right? See, already people are multiple programs are running with SAP Star, SAP Star with SAP Star. So already zero free dialogues. So someone already running. So sometimes what we have to do, go to the RG12. RG12 is the RFC server groups here. Someone already locked it. So there we can maintain the all the data here. There we can maintain the all the, so data means some parallel processing. We can maintain it here. Means instead of one process, if the one process is taking 4 hours, then if you increase the 5 process, then the data copy will be reduced here. Here dialog process will be used here. Here dialog process will be used for the processing here. If you go to the RG11, then you can use the parallel processing here. So there is a option each and every transaction code. If you go to SEC9 or anywhere, there is a button here, parallel processing. Then you can maintain the parallel processing number of process and logon groups and everything here, right? So that is the main thing here, right? So that is the one thing here. And also one more thing, if you remember, yeah, sometimes what happens, people will ask you, to the, so copy the data from one client to another system, but I don't want to copy the 2 3 tables data. He will give you the exceptions, conditions. Copy the all the data, but only 2 3 tables I don't want to copy to the source to target. Sir, client copy profile we selected, all the tables data will be copied, but how can I skip it out? Right? That is also one condition here. In that case, technically they may ask you the during the interview point of time. So in that case, we can put into the exception list here, either by report expo rs clxpo, or there is a report. If you go to the SEC9 or somewhere, so there is a expert settings here, every transaction code here. If you maintain the settings here, suppose like I don't want to copy the 3 tables data to here, then I can maintain the tables data. Suppose like USR02, I don't want to copy this table data to some other location. Then if I maintain this one, then so whatever the tables are there, these tables will be sorry, what that is called the, so exception list. Means this table data will not be copied here, right? That is called the expert functions here. So expert settings. You can go to the expert settings, then you can maintain the table data. You can maintain the tables data. The tables will not be copied. This tables data will not be copied to the source to target systems. When you are doing the local client copy or remote client copy, your manager said like, copy the data, all the data, but 2 tables data is very huge. We don't need those tables data. Put into the exception list. Then you can maintain the other tables data into the exception list here. So you can put in the exception list. So those tables data will not be copied. So this way we can minimize the timelines. So two things you need to remember: parallel processing, that is possible, and also so expert functions here. So those are the things are very important here. Okay. So this is about the client administration part here, right? So here
Hello.
to additional topics like RFC administrations and the profile parameters we discussed. So here, let me see how many. So anyone created the
Hello, sir. Hey,
Yeah, yeah,
hello.
tell me.
Yes. I have one question.
Yes.
When we test through the table after starting client copy or before starting the client copy, we have to explore the table.
Before only we need to maintain the settings actually. Once the client
Oh,
copy, why? Because before you maintain, then once you start the client copy, it will check, okay, are there any tables in the exception list or not? Oh, these tables are in the exception list. Then it will copy the data.
and one more thing regarding the RFC. we have to create some trusted RFC. How we can create it?
So
Trusted.
this is the normal RFC creation to the other systems and other system to this system we can create it. So trusted RFCs. What does that concept means? So trusting the that system calls here. Trusting the other system calls here. Suppose example, sometimes what happens, there is a, this is a, okay, since you asked this question, let me explain this concept as well. Trusted connections here. Okay, trusted connection, trusting. What is first of all trusting here? So trusting means, so I am trusting you, you are trusting me, which means, so both are I am trusting you means you don't need to log in, you don't need to enter the passwords or user ID in my systems. I will accept. Why? Because I have trusted you. Your connection is trusted me, so I can. So then, which means trusting. Suppose sometimes what happens, server to server, there are the lot of calls will enter into the your systems, but always asking the user ID password, always asking the user ID password means, as a humans, if you are entering, we can enter it. But if you maintain in the background job destinations or some apps which is calling, so but server to server, there is a, so if you don't have the trusting option, how, so this is the server, this is the one more server. How this server will trust the this calls? How this server will trust the this calls here? In that case only, what we have to do, we need to go to the SMT1 is the transaction code. There we have to maintain the, so this server details into in this system, this server details into in this system. We can maintain then, so that if any calls are coming from the front end or any server, this system will accept based upon the this trusting, will accept without asking any user ID password, then will process your request here. Suppose like banking servers, so then banking servers or anything, it will accept it. Nowadays if you see, we going to the payment gateway, immediately the banking page will open. If you click on the approve button, OTP will come, then immediately you are getting, means how your banking server is trusting the your Amazon site. How the Amazon site is trusting? Why? Because first you will log into the Amazon. When you book the order, then it is going to the banking server, banking site. Then banking server it is accepting, which means without asking any password, it is accepting. Then you are getting the amount will be deducted. So then with after entering the OTP, then the calls are coming to the again here, right? So then that way your things are happening here, right? So trusting. So trusted connections here. SMT1, we can use the transaction code, we can create the trusted connection. Suppose like example, here ECD we have, right? Go to the ECD system here. Then I want to establish a trusting connection to the my above system, my one more system like NW1. Right? Go to here, enter the details here, RFC destination. Is there any already RFC destination is there? Then, so suppose like ACD, right? NW1. Let's see, and is there any connection with the NW1 connection? I think RFC destination. Yes, it is there. Then, so just you are establishing a connection here. That is done, NW. Now, what I will do, I will log into the NW1. Then I will establish the connection back to ACD system. Both the side, I am establishing a trust I am establishing, so that, so system will trust all the calls and will system will trust the all the calls. Go to the connection, then RFC destination, maybe ECD. I thought of it will be there, but yeah, it is there. Or different naming convention, you can enter the different naming convention also, right? So it trusted systems, what the trusted connections, ECD, NW1, you have the ECD system details here, right? So then if you go to the here, so here, then here and the ECD, we have the NW1 system details will come into the picture here. NW1 system will come into the picture here. So both the systems you have added. So systems that are trusted, system that are calls are trusted. All the calls. Calls means system to system communications will happen server to server. So that time these connections will be trusted using the SMT1 transaction code. We can establish the connectivities. So it will be trusted. So simply you can go here and access the data. Multiple times you can go access the data until unless you have the trusted connection is established.
Is it like SSO, single sign-on cert?
Single sign-on is within the system. That is the single sign-on. That is required the certificates. So signed CA response certificates from the your CA authorities, then we can import it. That is a certificate. That is a different topic.
Actually, like you said, like that, every time no need to give the credentials. Okay, when we are
That
pressing
is
the RFC,
the
right?
that is the humans to humans when you are logging to the server. That is the SSO configuration. This is the system to system communication, not the human to system. So your system to system communications. So that time, so these trusted connections will be helpful. Suppose users also we are logged into the SAP systems, we are logged into the SAP systems, then always we are entering the user ID, passwords we are entering. I don't want to enter this one. Then we can configure the SNC, SSO configurations, SAML2 configurations, the multiple things we can configure it.
So, and one more thing, because in SM59 I saw that there is one button for testing. So, with the help of that, also we can create a trust RFC
Yeah,
or
yeah. That
only.
RFC connection is in SM59. Whenever you are doing this configuration,
Uh,
so it will be create as a one connectivity here. It will create as a one RFC destination is called the trusting. So here go to the logon security, we can establish the trust relationship. Yes. Yes, by using this one also you can configure it.
Means there are two ways, either SMT1 or the SM59.
Yeah, here
Right?
also you can establish the connectivity. Yes.
Okay.
Hello, sir. When I was trying to create this SM59 connection, it was giving me error like destination is already created.
But you can use a different destination. You can use the different destination which are not exist. It's not like that you have to maintain the same destination, right? Naming convention will be different things, you can maintain it.
Okay, okay, okay.
So you can use the different destination naming convention while creating here. So just you can use the your name, then you can create the destination.
Okay.
One more thing, I have one question. Suppose I got one request to open a client. So to SSC4 we open a client, but the user saying like that open the object also for us because if the user adapter want to update some objects, so we have to open the object also. So SSC no SC06, right? What is the
Yeah,
difference? That
yes,
yeah.
yes, C06. SC06 is for it's a different. It's a SC0 for SC06. You can open the system change option, which means it is in the modifiable. So you can it will be modifiable status means everybody they can do the changes, the development objects, all those things they can do the changes here. So then in that case, not only SCCP, if someone asks you to change the system, open the system means you need to open the system as well as the client settings also you have to open it here. That is the client, this is the system. So you have to open the client settings also, we have to open it. Someone ask you to object level opening means sometimes whatever will the people will open here, but this will be the not modifiable status. Then in this case, check which area the person is asking us to open it here. So then in that area, we can just to make it a system status to the modifiable status so that that will be modifiable. Which area, which object level, what is the prefix he asked us to do it, then we can use that area level, we can make it to the modifiable level. Then, so that will be so modifiable status or not modifiable status.
There is the two option, namespace and the other one is a global setting. What is the difference between that? Yes.
You, where it that option is available,
Sorry, pardon.
where you are referring that one.
No, no. If you click on system change options, click on
Mhm.
it. Yeah. And go to the settings in a menu bar. No, no, no. Not here. Not here. Go in this settings. Yes.
Ah.
No, no. Edit mode. Somewhere I take. Yeah, yeah. Software component modifiable and
These all are the
rename.
namespaces. So yeah, so you can directly go to the here, you can modify it, or so if you have any
No.
customized namespace, that is also you can make it modifiable. These are the software component. These are the namespaces.
Okay. In
Namespaces means functionality wise. Namespaces, if you make it the non-modifiable, all will be changed to one. Sir, instead of changing one by one, there are multiple things are there. Can I do it bulk wise? Yes, you can go to the bulk wise and you can change it wise here. Both are same
software
only.
software component means the. Basis,
Sir,
ABAP, like those. Correct?
Right, 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 right.
sir, this is standard to, I mean, modifiable or anything. They based on the requirement we need to do.
Development system, it will be modifiable status. Non-development systems, it will be
Mm-hmm.
production and quality systems. It is the non-modifiable status. If it is a
Okay.
modifiable status, people directly they can go ahead and change the object settings and everything. They can do that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what you can do, you can
Sir,
just practice the client administration for today. So then tomorrow we'll go with the daily monitoring activities. So we have daily monitoring activities. We can do that one. No, no, no. Before the daily monitoring, we have RFC types and the SCOT administration and performance related transaction codes and yes, trust certificates. So we have to complete all these small portions. Then we'll go for the transport administration topic. Transport administration topic. Okay. Then notes implementation and support packs. So all those three will come. Okay, that will take longer time. So let's see. Okay, so please
Sir,
practice. Yes.
sir, here in client copy, like this parallel processing, we have the right, sir,
Yes,
option.
yes, we can enable the parallel processing client
That
copy.
is like that also we need to do it before the client copy is initiated.
Before only everything. During the itself, so it will not affect. Before only we have to enable it. Before you click the execute button, we need to perform these things.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so let's.
Ravi sir, I have any chance the OB0 to T code is modifiable in production system, but non-production system is not modifiable. So they asked me to as to modifiable in non-prod also.
Okay, OB02 means maybe sometimes they will do the direct changes in the some
Uh-huh.
finance tables or everything. That may be the reason, I think.
Okay, okay. So production is available to production is showing modifiable. So this is the same scenario about non-prod also they are asking. So
Okay,
even
okay,
I tried it in SM. I mean missing address also that is not there anything. So that is
okay. So
this
you
is
have to
core security, right, sir?
authorization is definitely security part only.
Yeah.
But client settings, so client open, close, it's part of our duty only.
That I do. I mean I'm doing. That's not a problem. But they're asking complete changes,
Complete
modifiable.
changes means.
When they're asking like OB52, it is showing like non-production system is non-modifiable. So that they need modifiable.
OB, okay, the table changes.
Yeah, table
So they are
changes.
going to the OB52 and they are trying to edit the table and
Some
it's,
table.
yeah.
Yeah, they need the tables are I mean modifiable, but it is showing it non-modifiable in the GUI.
Oh, okay. So maybe settings only. Yeah, settings.
Sir, do you have a TADM? If you have, could you please share with us?
TADM. Already multiple PDFs I shared it. So you want to
Uh,
TADM as well.
yes.
You already completed those PDFs reading.
No, no, I started it.
Okay,
I'm just
I will share
asking.
it. I will share it. Okay.
Yeah. And do you have any user ID? So
No,
here we can check.
I have S user ID that cannot be shared to anyone. No one cannot share any S user IDs to any people. Okay.
No, to SAP Learning Hub, I wanted to down. Like, right.
That cannot be shared. You have to get your own. Because that is the company specific. No one share that those things.
Uh,